in the year 2000, which is now 11 years ago, I made some changes in my approach to working. And I concluded initially, in the first few months, that I wanted to only work in color from then on, after 35 years of black and white photography. And there was a lot more to learn, because I wanted, when I thought to myself I wanted to work in color, I meant to work in color as I had worked with black and white, in that I could find in it some essential expressive potential that I could then work with. So I didn't want to just photograph things in color. I wanted to photograph things with color, using color as one, let's say in a zone system kind of mindset, would assign a tonal value, grayscale value, monochromatic value, to a scene before them or a subject before them. You have to see in terms of what you're working with. So I was photographing a lot and learning about color as it mattered to me. And then over time, you start funneling experience into decision. I try not to assign a hierarchical significance to what I look at, in the way that we're probably programmed, most of us are probably programmed to really look at life through other people's pictures, right? So there's a group of people, you single some person out and you focus your attention on that person, but you don't necessarily see the environment they're in, or what relationships, structural relationships, chromatic relationships, dynamic relationships, all the various kinds of ways in which the elements in front of you can come together. So we tend to narrow it down immediately. There's a person, the person's more important than the tree. Well, if you don't assign those kinds of hierarchical relationships, then the tree and the person both present the same kind of, potentially the same possibilities of meaning in a picture. And if you can find ways to bring those things together to create a picture that one would not ordinarily see, and that has been part of the objective, is to see in new ways, look at known things in unknown ways. So the pictures really every day was like, what does this day present to me? I mean, there are too many surprises out there, and it's much more fun, or certainly it's more exciting to discover through empirical observation. Once again, life shows you something that you could never anticipate, but you have to have a mind open to that. You can't go out there and say, oh, I'm only going to look at trees today, or I'm going to look at buildings today, or I'm going to photograph people on the street, because then you deny yourself access to all of these wonderful, unexpected things, which ultimately, if you simply pursue them, stream of consciousness, they will amount to something. You just have to give it time and trust in your vision. But for 10 years, I began to pick up on the fact that there were things going on in my pictures that kept reoccurring. And they might be small in one picture and dominant in another picture, but somehow there were linkages. And they were delightful little reminders for me of my own way of seeing. So it really helped me sort of come to terms with how I see. So I've made a real commitment to photographing Atlanta and seeing Atlanta, which I think is an underutilized environment by most photographers, particularly because so many still, even though when I came here in 1972 and joined this newly forming photographic community, it was still about photographing some historical notion of the American South. You have to go to Madison, you have to go out and find hidden ruins of decrepit antebellum buildings. And I met entertainers and dope dealers and loan sharks. So when I came here and I looked around, I found that nobody was really taking stock of what was going on in the city as a city. It was always another place, and you know, the cultural life in this city is really given a backseat to the culture of any other place but this one. And there's a lot of richness here, particularly now as we come starting the second decade of the 21st century. There's a lot of wonderful creative people here, more and more stuff is happening here, and there's more of an internal richness to the community that I think should be explored and is being explored now by more and more people. I once wrote, surprises come to those who expect them. And it's a matter of preparation and attitude. I know that the world is rich and full of fascinating things, and if I spend my time with an open mind, I will see more of that than if I don't look at it that way. So that's the basic attitude that I have when I go out looking for pictures.